Are there any cars I won't do as a mobile guy? Yes. You're looking at one of them, and I will fix many things on this car. But the one thing you will not see me do is the procedure that this car requires here. I'm going to start this car up, and once I find the key, of course, and there it is. And I want you guys to notice this is a 2008 Ford Escape Hybrid. And I'm going to get you in there, and it says check brake system. Okay. Check brake system. Simple, right? Nice, easy, not even close. Pull up the codes that are in there, and it's always the dreaded code I hate to see. Brake system initialization not completed. Forget about the U2023. Worry about the C1525. Brake system initialization not completed. And that god-awful noise that's there that goes along with that god-awful smell of black ice that we need to have 5 of them in the car because somebody stinks. But anyhow, I'll turn it off for a moment so we can look at this. C1525. What is it? What's it all about? If you're a Ford guy, you already know, and you're probably already chuckling. But I will pull up the Identifix version here so you guys can actually see it, because I think they described it pretty well. Let's look at this one. Vehicle came in with a blown front brake hose, as they always do. Vehicle has a low brake pedal and a code C1525. When working on the hybrid vehicles, there is a very specific brake bleed procedure to be followed. And that is 110% true. And part of what you need to have there is you need to have the IDS. Because I've tried this with the other ones. I mean, I've heard other people have made it through with the Autel, all that good stuff. The problem I have, though, is that it never gives you what the failure code is, or at least it didn't when I tried it. There is a brake system bleeding procedure that needs to be done on this car. It is a very lengthy procedure, so much so that they actually made a video. I think it'll mention it in here. Let's see here. Yeah. So much so that their Ford guys couldn't do it, so they had a video version of this procedure. If you go out there and you look it up, you'll be able to find it. And they make it sound so easy. They hook up a machine on there that actually sits there and keeps a steady applied pressure of brake fluid to the top of the master cylinder, and you put the car up in the air and you go through this little bleed procedure. What they failed to mention to you is that the thing has like a 5-gallon reservoir, and you will probably go through 4 of those gallons just doing the bleed procedure on this thing. And if at any point at all your pressure begins to go low, you will fail and you will get codes. And those codes, let's see if they have them in here, are here. And this is what the Autel didn't give me when I first did it. So as you're doing it, if it fails, you'll get some of these codes that pop up on there: brake fluid level sensor low, everything else. The one thing that you're always going to see, that especially if you have a machine that's not capable of it, and I'm telling you now, I've tried every pump sprayer, you name it, trying to do these things without using a good machine. I use the BG brake fluid machine. That works pretty well, but I only use that if I'm in a shop. It's not something I carry around with me, because who really wants to carry around 4 gallons of brake fluid in a giant machine to do one of these things a year? But you'll get fill pressure low. The dealer over here actually turned this car away. It's a fleet car, but they still turned it away. And they will not do it unless they can replace all items on the vehicle. They will not do it without replacing the hydraulic control unit. They basically scoff at this job because it pays nothing and it gives you nothing. The brake bleeding procedure, as you can see, people were successful with it. It does work. I'm not saying it doesn't. What I am saying, though, is that there are things that a mobile guy can do within a reasonable fashion. And here's a guy right there. Our Autel scanner had a menu to do the bleed on this that did not work. Had to take it to the dealer for $270. That guy said, ouch. If I was him, I'd be saying, oh, thank goodness. So anyhow, yeah, so I just wanted you guys to see. I mean, there are certain cars out there that I just cannot do out on the road. Especially here we are at night, no lift. Where are we going to bleed this thing? You get a code like that, a C1525, and the best bet is You know, if you're interested in becoming a mobile guy, and that's why you watch me, you know, be aware. There are things that you'll get yourself into. These brake bleed procedures, you know, if you hit into any kind of trouble whatsoever when you're doing it, you could easily be here for 3 to 4 hours. It's nothing at all like the typical bleed procedure. My suggestion is that if you want to get it done and you're in the Chicagoland area, go see that guy right there. If you don't know who that is, that's Ford Tech. All right, so go see him. He'll tell you about other expensive brake system failures on there also. That was one for the vacuum supply diagnostics on the 2009 to 2012. Preferably a little bit of an easier system to work with, but I know that I've seen some of you guys have commented on there already, so I'm sure everybody knows him. Brian's a good guy. But anyhow, this is what we have, and this is a car that will not get done this evening. Have a good one.